Alright, hello fun and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the FG-42 ParaTroop Rifle mod, which is being released by user Golden Darkness. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the World War II German rifle, the FG-42, which in the real world was a gun made and used in fairly limited numbers by the Germans, and specifically by their airborne infantry, and is a pretty iconic gun if you've, well, ever played basically any World War II game ever. It's pretty much in all of them. Good times there. So let's jump on over here and have a look at what we do get with this particular weapon. The FG-42 Ausf.E, which in its most basic standard configuration will deal 151 damage with a new 8mm Mauser round with a firing rate of 56, range of 185, accuracy of 87, and a weight of 17.5. Not too bad there. And as you can see, this thing is pretty darn well made. Very nice on the modeling and texturing. We also do get some custom sounds and animations with this thing, which is always nice to see in any gun mod, and all in all, it just looks darn good. I mean, it looks like every other one of these that I've seen in a video game, which means they probably did a really good job at modeling this to the actual gun. At least, I hope. I've never actually seen one of these in real life, but it is certainly an interesting looking weapon. Now, on the downside for this gun, besides looking great, it does sadly not have a whole lot of modifications. Enough in here to, help modify it a bit to your own custom preferences, but stat-wise, you're basically never going to be changing away from the basic stats that you see right here. A few minor changes, but overall, what you get here with this gun is what you're gonna get with it pretty much forever, but you can change up, as I said, some things to help make it feel a bit more useful to you. And a little bit of aesthetics, which is always pretty neat. Now, as for how you do get your hands on one of these lovely things, well, first and foremost, you are going to need a prerequisite mod, that being Tactical Reload. Now, once you have that installed, you are going to only be able to find one of these guns in the entire world, and it's at Jamaica Plains, and specifically down in that weird time capsule chamber, just on top of the desk right there in the open, which honestly, I kind of like. Normally I don't care too much when you only get one of a gun, because I like adding them to settlers and followers, etc., but it kind of makes sense. Like I said at the beginning, this was a gun that was used in fairly limited numbers during World War II, and not many have survived to today, so the idea of just one of these being in the Commonwealth, and specifically in a time capsule, kinda makes sense, and I kinda like that. Very fun there. Now, as for the ammunition for this gun, since it is a custom ammunition, you can go over to any chemistry station in the world, where at the top ammo category, you can make it for just some simple aluminum, copper, and steel, and you'll have yourself some of the new 8mm Mauser rounds. Now, as a fun little bonus for this mod, which we're not going to talk about too much, because of course the main focus is the name of the mod, the gun, but we do get the M24 steel hand granata as well, just again as a fun little bonus, and you actually will find one of these also in the time capsule chamber right next to the gun. And you can make more here at the chemistry station just for some adhesive, screws, spring, and wood, and what the heck, we'll make a couple of them just to throw around to at least take a brief look at that. But let's get on to the modifications for the gun. Again, kind of minimal, which saddens me, but, well, first off, receiver category, which, is I think the most depressing part about this gun, because normally we have all sorts of receivers changing up the damage and other various stats. Here, it's either the standard closed bolt with the factory standard scope on the top, or a modern rail, so that you can add onto this thing more modern different sights, which there is actually a very long, good list of those various sights. But yeah, that's really the only things you have in here. No other sorts of receivers to change up firing rate, damage, anything like that. Granted, doing the rail actually does lower your accuracy a bit and your weight, which is interesting, but yeah, you do have the option of getting more modern sights for this thing. Now, with the standard closed bolt-on here, the optics we have are limited to just the factory optic, or if you just want to go iron sights, you have the either standard unfolded iron sights, or the iron sights with the back bit here folded downward, so you're relying entirely on the front bit. And that's what you get with this. Now, if we go over to the closed bolt version, you can see that our optic category, oh boy, has a lot more. We've got all sorts of aim points, Barska, the Elcan, EOTech, Sig Romeo, Trijicon, etc. So a lot of different scopes you can add on here, which I do like. You guys know me. I love a good selection of sights for my guns. But yes, that only comes if you lose out on a bit of accuracy with the rail one here. Now then we have the muzzle category rather, where the only thing is a compensator, or of course, nothing on the muzzle whatsoever, which interestingly does actually adjust the range bit, which is nice to see there, but again, dropping that accuracy. Now then we also have kind of a weird one, which we don't normally see, and that is a sound category, where we actually have two different sounds for the gun. I don't know which one I prefer. They both are pretty good, but yeah, just whichever preference you go for. I think this one has a bit more of a bassy thud to it, if I'm remembering correctly. We'll take a look at both of them here in a moment, though. We then have the option of the foresight up here to have that being either unfolded or folded down, if you so desire. And then finally, we have the handguard material, which can either be the standard wood, or you can go for a more modern-looking polymer. And that's it. That's all the modifications we do have on hand, with really the only things changing any stats are going to be that rail and the muzzle compensator there. Removing those is really the only thing that's going to change stuff up. The rest is, well, sights or aesthetics or sound, which, again, is very interesting to have as a category. I do hope that some more things get added in here, especially receiver-wise, just so we can get some more damage out of this thing to make it more useful into the later game. But still, as it stands, it's a pretty decent gun into the late mid-game, in my opinion. And overall, just a fun weapon to play around with. So let's go grab one of my modified versions that I have with the alternate sound and, of course, the polymer, and let us take some shots, see how this thing functions. So let us fire. And there we are, a good, smooth, reloading animation. Jesus, I don't know how my tongue got all tied there. But yes, a very smooth reanimation. Love the sounds on this thing. A very easy to control gun, too. It is fully automatic by its standard, and the recoil, not a whole lot, so it's quite easily controllable, especially with the slower rate of fire to its automatic nature. So you can quite easily keep this thing on target without having to do much adjustment. Now, as for the other sights, of course, here that we have, we can go up to here, and I've attached one of those hollow sights onto here. Always good times there. And of course, this one has that other sound. Oh yeah, a little bit more bassy on that one. I don't know which one I like more. I think they both have their purpose. But yes, very interesting there. Very interesting indeed. But with all the other modifications, still more or less the same stat-wise as the basic version. So let us go and try this thing out against a Deathclaw to see how it functions against, well, a more proper enemy rather than just some stationary targets. Let's hope I don't die, but hey, we'll see. It's me. So let's run up here to cheese the thing and start firing. Ooh, we got a good shot on its belly, and it is down easily without even having to reload. Magnificent. So yeah, a pretty good, powerful weapon, and I guess with the 151 damage with full auto, which is something I really hadn't thought about when I was thinking of when this game would be useful, like mid or late game. Full auto 151 actually is pretty darn good now that I'm thinking about it. With the automatics, you would usually see a lower number than that, and with its easy controlled recoil, it's pretty darn damaging of a weapon. I mean, we are taking down Deathclaws pretty easily with this thing. So if you would like to check this out for yourself, which I would certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that, my friends, is going to be it for this one today. Hopefully you all have enjoyed, and you do come back for the next episode when hopefully we'll be looking at yet another wonderful mod. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, well, have a good one.